Hey guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another wrestling news roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. Nash Carter reportedly released by WWE. Nash Carter is reportedly gone from WWE. On Twitter yesterday afternoon, Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that he had been told that Carter had been released from WWE. Nash Carter's reported release comes after several allegations of abuse from his wife, Impact Wrestling star and former Chikara Grand Champion Kimber Lee. Over the past week, Kimber Lee has alleged Carter physically and emotionally abused her and has accused him of holding anti-LGBTQ views. Lee also posted a photo of Carter doing what appeared to be a Nazi salute while sporting a mustache similar to Adolf Hitler. It should be noted that Lee initially made allegations against Carter in late March before deleting them from social media. She had also noted that the couple was working on their issues before reissuing her allegations this week and saying they were done for good. Carter hasn't commented on Kimber Lee's allegations, though the wife of Wes Lee, Carter's tag team partner, has vocally defended him on social media. As of this recording, neither Carter, Lee, or the WWE has commented on Carter's reported release. Formerly known as Zachary Wentz, Carter broke through with Wes Lee, then known as Desmond Xavier, as a member of the trio The Rascals alongside Impact star Trey Miguel. The duo are best known for their time in Impact Wrestling and captured several tag team titles on the independent circuit, including the AAW, PWG, and CZW Tag Team Championships. The duo signed with WWE in 2020 and took the name MSK while largely maintaining their Rascals gimmick. As of Carter's release, MSK was the current NXT Tag Team Champions in their second reign. MSK was set to defend their titles against Grayson Waller and Sanga next week. Nash Carter and Kimber Lee began dating in 2018 and would later become engaged in August of 2019. They have been married for nearly 2 years. WWE reportedly considering more call-ups and a managerial role for Superstar. There's been recent talk about more WWE NXT call-ups to the main roster. A new report from Fightful Select notes that LA Knight and Raquel Gonzalez have both been pitched for call-ups to Raw or SmackDown. It was noted that while Gonzalez seems to be expected by most within NXT, Knight's situation doesn't seem certain. One pitch for Knight on the main roster would see him work as a manager due to his highly acclaimed mic work. There is no word on if this role is favoured over Knight being a regular in-ring talent, but it was pitched. There have been several pitches to bring Gonzalez up to Raw or SmackDown in the past, but they never came to fruition for whatever reason. However, word now is that many expect her to finally be brought up. There's no word yet on if Knight and Gonzalez would end up on Raw or SmackDown or when the call-ups might happen, but we will keep you updated. It was reported back in January that WWE officials were, quote, very high right now on Knight and that a post-WrestleMania 38 main roster call-up was being considered. WWE reportedly considering a big change and main roster call-up for Imperium. WWE is reportedly considering Imperium for a move from WWE NXT 2.0 to the main roster. This week's post-Stand and Deliver episode saw tension between Marcel Barthel and Fabian Eichner, which led to Eichner walking out on their match against the Creed brothers. There wasn't a real follow-up, but later in the show, Barthel vented to Gunther about Eichner's actions, and Gunther told him they needed to get everything together as he needed no distractions before his main event match against NXT champion Bron Breakker. In an update, a new report from Fightful Select notes that there have been recent talk of bringing Imperium to the main roster. However, the pitch involved Gunther and Barthel being called up without Eichner. It was also noted that Imperium would likely end up on SmackDown, as that is the heavily discussed destination for the group. Gunther moved to the United States earlier this year and began working on the main NXT brand full-time, joining Eichner and Barthel. Word now is that ever since Gunther made the move, the plan has been for him to end up on Raw or SmackDown. There's no word yet on why WWE is booting Eichner from the group or what they might have planned for him, but we will keep you updated. Saturday's Stand and Deliver event saw Gunther defeat LA Knights in singles action, while Aichner and Barthel dropped the NXT Tag Team Championships to MSK in a triple threat match that also involved the Creed brothers. Barthel and Aichner then took a loss to the Creed brothers on this week's show, while Gunther came up short in the main event against Bron Breakker. There's also no word on when Imperium might be called up, but we will keep you updated. Samoa Joe makes AEW in-ring debut, qualifies for Owen Hart tournament. Last night's episode of AEW Dynamite saw the official in-ring debut of longtime veteran Samoa Joe, qualifying for the Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament with a victory over Max Caster. Joe pulled out the victory in his first All Elite Wrestling bout, hitting his signature muscle buster to get the victory on Caster. Before the match got underway, Max Caster made his entrance with teammate Anthony Bowens and poked fun at Joe through his rap. He pointed to Joe being injury prone and how he was the NXT champion when AEW was beating them head-to-head in the ratings. Joe made his return to Ring of Honor at Supercard of Honor this past Friday, and Khan announced after the show that Joe is All Elite. Khan, the new Ring of Honor owner, has confirmed that Joe is signed to compete in AEW and Ring of Honor. He commented on an episode of Busted Open Radio yesterday morning about how Joe has arrived at the perfect time for AEW. Quote, "We signed Samoa Joe to wrestle," Tony Khan said. "He's bringing star power to AEW and he's arrived at the perfect time for us. We're extremely excited for him to make his AEW debut on Dynamite in the first round of the Owen Hart tournament against Max Caster." AEW star suffers injury at last night's Elevation taping. Layla Hirsch suffered an injury during last night's AEW Dark Elevation taping at the Agganis Arena in Boston. Hirsch was wrestling Christina Marie when her knee buckled as she was landing a backflip or a moonsault out of the corner from the second rope. She immediately went down and clutched her knee. Hirsch was briefly checked out by the referee, who then threw up the dreaded X symbol to call for help. The ringside medic came into the ring to tend to Hirsch, and the match was called. Another correspondent in attendance noted how it looked as if Hirsch blew her knee out on the landing. The injury occurred during the first match of the pre-Dynamite Elevation tapings and at about 1 minute into the bout. Both correspondents commented on how it looked to be a bad injury, but the severity has not been confirmed as of this recording. Hirsch was helped away from the ring by the referee and ringside medic and was being treated and evaluated backstage. Thunder Rosa's first AEW Women's title defense announced. It was announced on last night's episode of AEW Dynamite that Thunder Rosa will put her newly acquired AEW Women's World Championship on the line against Nyla Rose. The two will go one-on-one at the upcoming Battle of the Bouts AEW special that will be taped on April 15. Rosa and Nyla Rose have been feuding ever since Thunder Rosa came out for a championship celebration on a recent episode of AEW Dynamite. She was quickly interrupted by Nyla's manager, Vicky Guerrero, and was laid out by the native beast. As noted, Battle of the Bouts 2 will be taped on Friday, April 15 at the Curtis Culwell Center in Garland, Texas, before or after a live edition of AEW Rampage on TNT. It's believed that Dark or Elevation matches will also be taped that night. There are no other matches announced for Battle of the Bouts 2 as of this recording. However, it was announced last night also that a Texas death match for the AEW World Championship between Adam Cole and current champion Hangman Adam Page will main event the live episode of AEW Rampage. So what are your thoughts on today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc. and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.